Hi, my name's Talon. And I'm making a board game. Now, I didn't choose to make my board game a board game simply because I'm scared of coding. I mean, I am scared of coding. Terrified, actually. But that's not the only reason. You see, the Game Crafter, which is a website that prints board games, is hosting a game jam. The 1 pound board game challenge or something like that. I actually forgot the name at this point in time. But it's probably going to be on the screen, so you can read it. It's going to be fine. Essentially, the rules are you have to try and make your board game as close to 1 pound as possible. Now, I've made board games before, but they all end up kind of just being more like dead fish than anything. Just kind of stinky and bad. So this time I actually want to do it right. I'm going to spend a good amount of time planning, and a good amount of time on art, and probably rush everything else. But I think that's a pretty good recipe for the start of something interesting. Now, I do have an idea for what I want my game to be. I want to make a one-player, story-based board game where you're the conductor of a train. You have to guide your train along the different rails in order to deliver passengers to their destinations. You can burn anything in order to put fuel in the train and make your train move farther. Cargo, contraband, humans. Each thing you burn takes you a different distance along the rails. This leads to different puzzles in which you need to move a certain distance but not move too far or you'll miss your destination. The goal is to make a game in which the puzzles are fun, the story's good, and overall it's just a pretty enjoyable experience. I also want to make like something where it's hard to get through the ethics because you have to burn people but you don't want to burn people, and then there's going to be different like political groups that you want to like kind of satisfy in order to get certain conditions you can win. I don't want to get too big, but it's gonna get bloated and too big and out of hand really fast, but that's okay. This is gonna be really bad. I did already make a prototype though, so let's pull that up and talk about it a little bit. So at the bottom here you see that we've got the train, and it's got each of the positions that different things can go in your train. Each one of these spots will be taken up by cargo, passengers, pretty much anything that'll be on your train will go in here. That card at the end is the furnace. You burn things there in order to move your train. At the top you have the rail system. Right now it's just a straight line. I'm not really sure what I want to do with that. Right now it just seemed the simplest, so I could prototype and kind of work around what I wanted to do. Each of those little square things are stations. They've got different shapes in order to indicate kind of which station they are. There's the Orion station, Trilgo's, I think what I called that triangle one. I don't know. I keep them really basic. That way I'll actually know what I'm looking at while I'm prototyping. The two draw piles down on the side, I don't know if you can see them very well in the picture, but those are going to be both the passenger cards and the story cards that go with them. So you're going to draw a passenger card each time you end up at a station, and then each of those passengers will have a story card that goes along with it. So you'll look at the story card, read what the passenger says, what they do when they get on the train, where they want to go. This is where the story element comes into the game. So this will eventually evolve into things where one guy will want to get to one station, but if you don't go to that station in a certain amount of time, maybe you won't get a certain reward. I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do with that yet. I'm still prototyping, obviously. But right now I think I've got a pretty good system for what I'm going to do. So I'm just really happy with that. I've also started working on the art for this game. We got off to a rocky start at first. And we're still not in a great position. But we'll get there. We'll work through this. We'll make it, I think. Anyways, so what I'm going to have to work on for the next couple weeks is probably mostly characters. Once I get a bunch of the characters in and some of the story cards done, then I'll kind of have a direction for the game to move in. And that'll make the whole process just a whole lot easier. As this is just an introduction to my game that I'm going to make, I'm probably not going to put a whole lot of kind of actual process in this video. I'm not going to show like actual working or anything like that. So that'll probably come from the next couple of videos. The only real reason that is because next week is finals week. So I really planned this like super well, you could say, because obviously I'm not going to have any time to work on the game in the next week. I also want to, after this game, as far as, like, goals go, for this game I just want to make something that's really, like, fun to play and fun to work with. Because I told you I've made board games before, but I just really didn't like how they turned out. So my goal this time is just make a game that something I'm proud of, something I like the art, I like the gameplay, and I like the story. After that, I want to work on some other things. I've got an idea for a video game that I want to do once I get over the coding thing. But, yes, I'm very excited for the future of this channel, future of this game, and future of my life, I guess. Thanks for checking out the video. If you liked what you saw, subscribe or like. You don't really have to. I'm just messing around on here. So, see you in the next one, or not.